Hi, I'm Jenna, and this is the Burton Cartel binding. This is an excellent binding for your intermediate to advanced all-mountain freestyle rider who's really just looking for a great performance binding. This binding comes in both regular and EST, so the Cartel and the Cartel EST. This here is the Cartel EST, and one of the things you'll notice are these two pieces right here, which allow you to mount this binding to the ICS channel boards. If you are looking to mount this binding to one of the regular Burton boards that just has a 3D hole pattern, then you'll want to just get the regular Burton Cartel binding. Now, let's talk about some features that are found on both the Cartel and the Cartel EST. So to start off, we've got the super strap on this binding, and what that does is you've got a 3D curved strap with a triple axis spine for support and response, but we've also got neoprene right here, which allows this binding to flex and to perform while staying durable and really holding up on you. The strap is also asymmetrical, as you can see. It's a little bit thinner up here, so it's really going to make for a very ergonomic fit, allowing you for a little bit more comfort and again performance and flex where you need it. Now on the toe strap we've got Get a Grip cap strap, and what that is it's a material within this strap that makes it extra grippy, so when you're wearing this over the toe of your boot, what it's doing is it's allowing you to pull your boot back into the binding, again eliminating any of the pressure points you would get from wearing your toe strap on top of your boot. And because it's so grippy, this is going to really stay on the toe of your boot. A lot of times when you ride some of the toe caps that don't fit your boot properly or aren't made to really conform to the boot, they end up on top of your boot and not being effective, not fitting you appropriately. So you lose a lot of response as well as a lot of performance out of that. Next we've got the base plate of this binding, which is a single composite 30% short glass nylon composite. So what that nylon composite does is it actually still gives you a very responsive binding, but gives you a little bit of flex, makes the binding a little bit playful. So again, I was talking about how this is an all-mountain freestyle binding. For your all-terrain riding, you really want that response out of the binding, but if you're taking it into the park, you're hitting some jumps, stuff like that, you're going to want the binding to be a little bit more playful, have a little bit more flex to it. So that's kind of the name of the game as I roll through some of the features on this binding. So next let's talk a little bit about the high back. What we've got is a single composite high back with a living hinge. And what this does is it actually allows you to adjust the forward lean of the binding independent to the rotation of the high back. So you can actually rotate the high back, rotate it to where it's parallel with the edges of your board, and you can actually really maximize your heel edge hold response, as well as the ability to kind of tweak the binding out a little bit if you're getting a little bit more playful, riding it in the park, doing some jibbing and stuff like that. So next let's talk about the cushioning underfoot. As you can see, the padding runs all the way underfoot through this binding, so covering the underneath the toe and the heel, but throughout the entire bottom of the binding. What that really does is it allows you to dampen vibration underfoot, so if you are riding this and more all-mountain terrain, you're getting a little bit more aggressive, you're looking for a really responsive binding, that's going to help minimize some of that chatter when you do start pushing the binding a little bit more. Now what's really cool about this is you also have what Burton calls B3 padding. That's that little white piece right here. So this is a gel found in some of Burton's higher end boots as well, and it really absorbs that shock. So again, you can kind of take this binding and really push the limits, get a little bit more aggressive on it, maybe hit some bigger jumps, and in landing this is really going to absorb that shock, dampen that vibration for you. So this is really a super tough, lightweight, kind of do-everything binding. It's really cool because the high back and the base plate are actually made out of reground materials, so they eliminate waste, making for a little bit more of an eco-friendly binding. Again, this is the Burton Cartel. Comes in the regular and EST, and it's just a great binding for your intermediate to advanced all-mountain freestyle rider looking for the performance and the response and all-mountain terrain, but also looking for that freestyle flexibility, so you can take this binding, have some fun, play around a little bit, really take it in all conditions and any kind of riding.